Okay, so our class on neck and shoulders, upper back, lower back, feeling all those places on your body. So let's start from the bottom up. So with the knees bent, the back of the pelvis is where your contact is on the floor. So notice if there's any weighted more on the left or the right. And then to shift your pelvis, you can press your feet into the floor gently, lift the pelvis slightly and shift so that the lighter side is more even with the heavy side. So if you had a scale, one of those scales that has the trays on either side and goes back and forth with the weights, your scale, those trays would come up even on either side of your pelvis. So imagine the center of your pelvis, the tailbone, the sacrum, and then evenly weighted on either side. And then also with the knees bent, the lower back is closer to the floor, maybe even on the floor. And so allow that area to relax, especially if you have been feeling any tenderness there or tightness. Relaxation is the first step. So how to relax? Use your breath. As you exhale, imagine a softening happening in the tight places. And this could also include your hips, your buttock area, anywhere around the pelvis as we're exploring this. So as you inhale, there's the gentle rise of the belly, and then as you exhale, the softening of the belly. And as you soften the belly back towards the floor, imagine that the lower back is just melting into the mat. And that all tightness is slipping away. And then just imagining your spine like a vine, and the floor is like the trellis. And the spine reaches for the trellis. So as you exhale, the spine reaches or relaxes towards the mat from the bottom, from the sacral area, all the way up to the back of the head. The top of the spine attaches into the back of the skull. So just imagine that whole area, the center column of your torso up into the neck column, relaxing. And then bringing your attention to the space between your shoulder blades. And you want that space to feel, again, in contact with the floor, using the floor as your guide, you want that space to feel broad, so not pinched. You want the shoulder blades to feel flat on the floor, and the inner arms, from the insertion of the arms into the chest, rolled open towards the ceiling. So you may need to, if you're feeling your shoulders rounded up towards the ceiling, you may need to tuck your shoulders underneath slightly so that they flatten, but not pinch. And then feel that relaxation across the chest, the collarbones, the rib cages, and everything settling down there. And then all the way down the arms, left and right, through the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, the hands, and the fingers. So it's kind of like a hose. I guess I have landscaping analogies today. So if you think about sort of that relaxation energy, however you're imagining, it can be a flow of water, it can be, beeswax melting, or, any type of visualization that you have, just a warmth or a light from the center of your chest, from that heart center where that rules the chest, the upper back, and the shoulders, and the arms. And so now imagining that cooling in the center of the chest and then flowing out through the arms. Perhaps there's a little warmth, or there's even a visualization of a color. And then feeling that going up into the neck. So I'm noticing that some of you have your necks distorted a little bit. And so I'm going to go a little bit more deeper into alignment. So You may notice that your chin, first of all, we'll talk about the chin, is higher than the forehead. So you may feel a little shortening in the back neck. The front neck feels a little more strained and open. So your chin would be tipped up towards the ceiling. You want to lengthen the back neck. So imagine a pulling at the bottom of the skull back and towards the top of your head. So a little tuck of the chin, but you don't want to jam the chin in. You want to take the movement from the back of the skull. And then side to side, you may notice that your nose is turned off to the side. You can use your nose as a center line. You can use your ears as one ear closer to the floor. So try to align your head because it's very telling how you lay down and hold your head, what's happening when you're standing in gravity. So try to get it aligned now. It might feel a little weird or off. And I'm seeing some really good adjustments. Okay, excellent. And then finally, across the face. So any neck tension, shoulder tension can come into the face. And so make sure that your jaw is relaxed, your tongue is soft in the mouth, usually resting on the upper palate. That's a common and most often everyone has their tongue resting gently on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. So, but it feels soft there, not pressing. And then a quietness around the eyes, the forehead. Pay attention to your breath through the nose. And let's go back to that relaxation piece again, whatever your visualization is, a soft, light, a warmth, a flowing energy. As you exhale, feel it flowing from the top of your head down through the face, the neck, the shoulders, the arms. On every exhale, sliding down through the spine, the chest, the belly, the lower back, the pelvis, the hips. And then even though your legs are bent and the feet are on the floor, allow that relaxation to flow down the legs. So there is some effort to hold the legs, but allow softness to go down through the muscles into the feet. Feel the toes soft, the bottoms of the feet soft. Good. All right. So now go ahead and take your hands, your arms are very relaxed, but gently bend your elbows and place your hands so the elbows stay on the floor. So your hands come onto your chest, okay? Or your heart center. Good. Okay. So now as you inhale, you're going to open the arms wide like wings. So now it's like a W shape on either side of you, and the backs of the hands come to the floor. If the backs of the hands don't come to the floor, widen your arms. Widen at the elbow angle. And see if you can get a little more flatness at the wrists. So it may be pretty wide for you. So we're just testing that out. We're staying with the arms wide, seeing where you can get the least gap underneath the wrists. Good. That's your inhale. And so now on your next exhale, bring the arms or hands back onto the chest. So folding at the elbows. Good. Let's do that again. Inhaling, opening up, remembering that place where you can really relax the arms, the wrists, the hands. Good. Exhale and bring the arms back. So now, not just swiveling at the elbows, but getting that joint there, right where the shoulders, arms and shoulders meet. And so see if you, as you inhale, can swivel at that joint, the shoulder joint, and feel the shoulder blades pressing into the upper back a little bit. So you feel the chest lift away from the floor slightly, and then exhale, bring it back. And then inhaling again, opening the arms, and give that little lift of the shoulder blades into the back, lifting the heart space. And as you exhale, bring the hands back to the chest. Excellent. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling, opening the arms. Good. Lifting the chest, so even like squeezing the shoulder blades up and into the rib cages a little bit, and then as you exhale, back down again. Good. Now let's go ahead and take the knees in towards the chest, both knees in towards the chest, one hand on each knee, and rocking the knees back and forth with the breath. As you inhale, the knees move away from the chest. And as you exhale, the knees move in towards the chest. So you're not using your arms so much to wrench the knees in. It's just a gentle guide with the hands on the knees. Inhaling the knees away, the heels are dropped. So here we're massaging the lower back. Good. 2 more times. Inhaling the knees in just as long as, or towards the chest, and out just as long as the arms go. Okay. And then after your second exhale, take the feet to the floor. Make sure that they're planted evenly at hip width. So if you're not sure about evenly, you can bring the feet together so that the big toe, that little bone at the outer big toe, touch, and then move them straight away from each other. So you know one foot's not more forward than the other. So the feet are on the floor at hip width, and the heels are tucked in, maybe about a foot away from your buttocks. If you have a little more flexibility, you can tuck them in just a little bit more, maybe 8 inches, 10 or 8 inches. Okay, so then let's go ahead and put the hands back on the chest again. Going back to that W shape. On an inhale, you're going to press through the feet and bridge up your body, bridge up the body, and keep the thighs parallel. That's your inhale with the arms open. And then as you exhale, slowly curl down so that each vertebrae, one by one, hits the floor. Maybe not hit the floor, but gently lands on the floor. Okay. So let's try that again. Press the feet down, inhale, and widen your W, and make sure you get to that place where you feel like your wrists can be on the floor or almost be on the floor. Good. And then exhale, slowly, slowly curl your way down, vertebrae by vertebrae, as the arms come back to the chest. So when you come back in and inhale and open and lift the spine, feel the shoulder blades pressing into the upper back like you did without the lift of the pelvis. So here the shoulder blades are gently lifting your center chest. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down and the hands back on the chest. So just do a couple more times, really paying attention to that opening, widening of the chest. Feel the lengthening of the back of the neck. As you come up, let's let the head be passive and do whatever it's going to do when you come up into bridge, getting into that upper neck, back of the head area that Debbie was talking about, giving it a little massage there. Good. And just one more time in your bridging, keeping the thighs parallel to each other. And then slowly coming down your last time with your exhale, hands back on the chest. Beautiful, vertebrae by vertebrae. Excellent. And now let's go ahead, and I had you have a strap close by. Can you catch your strap? Okay, so the knees are still bent. You're going to take your right knee in towards your chest and wrap the strap around the back of the thigh. Back of the thigh, not the foot. I know sometimes you're instructed to do the foot. Now it's the back of the thigh. Okay, so just have your right knee tucked in towards your chest and your left foot on the floor. Good. Okay. Now watch those shoulders, watch the neck. Is your neck still in line? And then keep those shoulders relaxed. On an inhale, stretch the heel, your right heel, up and out away from the hip. Whatever that means for you. Let's pause for a moment with the leg lifted and press the back of the thigh into the strap so that the back of the knee opens a little more, which might mean you need to take the thigh away from your belly a little bit. Open the back of the knee, lift up through the heel, spread the toes. Okay, now on an exhale, bend that right knee back in towards the chest. Good, and let's continue just 3 more times. Inhale, lift that heel up again, that same position. Open up the back of the knee, lift up through the heel, open the toes, and exhale back down again. 2 more times, lifting up on an inhale. So nice and slow with your breath through the nose. Shoulders are still relaxed. Exhale back down again. And then on this last time, on your next inhale, stretch that leg up, reach up through the heel, keep the leg lifted, keep breathing, and then go ahead and do some ankle circles. Always super good to do ankle circles every day, about 4 times one direction, 4 times the other direction, and make sure that you're just spiraling around at the ankle, that your knee and your hip are not rotating. So try to be stable in the pelvis, so that it's just the ankle you're feeling rotate. Beautiful. Once you're done with that, go ahead and place that foot on the floor. Switch the strap to the other side. Wrap it around the back of the left thigh. The right foot is grounded on the floor. Shoulders again. Relax those shoulders. Relax them. And tuck the left knee in towards the chest. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, neck, throat, jaw relaxed. And on an inhale, take the left leg up towards the, well, maybe it's not towards the ceiling, but you want to try to open up the back of the knee, the back of the calf muscle. So you're holding it for just a moment to refine where that is for you right now. And it might change after a few more openings, but try to press the back of the thigh into the strap. So you're just keeping the leg lifted for a moment and finding the space where you can keep the back of the knee as open as possible. It might mean taking the thigh away from the belly. Some of you try that. And where your knee still feels a little bent, take the thigh away from your belly a little bit and see if you can reach up through your heel any amount. Good. Okay. Now exhale and take that leg back in again on your exhale, knee to chest. And then inhale straight up again. Open those toes. Spread the toes. Some of you have socks on, but see if you can see daylight between every toe, and then exhale and go ahead and bring that knee back in again. 2 more times. Inhale, stretching the leg up. And exhale back down. And on this last time, inhale, take the leg up and keep it lifted, still grounded through the right foot on the floor. Make sure the knee's still pointing up. And the heel of the left leg is reaching away from the hip, and start doing your circles, your ankle circles. 4 times in one direction, 4 times in the other direction. And again, isolating the ankle. I see some hips moving. You just want the ankle. Okie doke. And when you're finished with that, go ahead and bend that knee and place the foot on the floor and release your strap. Okay, let's go ahead and come off the floor and roll over to the side. And then come up to sitting. So however you can sit and have it be comfortable for you. And what that means is that the spine is tall. So comfortable for you might be like this in a slump. But in yoga class, it's better to have the chest open, lengthening up through the spine. And let's do some shoulder rolls. So the hands are really just passive on the thighs, and they may move around a little bit as the shoulders roll. But make sure that the spine is tall as you do this. And you're just rolling forward and back, and the head is very passive. So it just sits right there on top of the spine, the head, and feel that there's a lift up through the center top of the head. That you're grounded through the base of your pelvis as you do this. And then there's a string pulling up from the base of the pelvis all the way up to the center top of the head. Good. Now lift the arms and start to get the arms involved. So when you go forward, your arms wrap around so the palms face back. And when you go back, the palms face open. So now getting the whole arm area involved. Again, the head is a little, it's there and it's not flopping around is what I'm trying to say. It's moving a little bit with the shoulders, but there's some stability in the neck. Okay, and then go ahead and finish by rolling the arms back and down and placing the palms open on your thighs or wherever's comfortable the way you're sitting. Good. And now lifting up to the center top of the head again, making sure that your spinal column is nice and tall. And it might mean that you need to change your sitting position. You do not have to be sitting like me. Maybe sitting with the legs out, you get a taller spine. Or maybe having something like a pillow underneath the knees because your backs of your legs are kind of tight. So this helps you get your spine tall. Because when we're working with the neck, we want to make sure that your spine is nice and tall. Okay, so I'm going to stay like this as an example. Okay, so then there's that string pulling up from the center top of the head again. Inhale in this position. And as you exhale, just take your right ear and bring it towards your left shoulder, or right shoulder, sorry. Right ear towards the right shoulder. Oh. Okay, and then on an inhale, gently bring the head back up again. So you're not just dropping the head, you're very slowly in control as you exhale, taking your right ear towards your right shoulder. So this whole left side is very passive. You'll feel a little stretch maybe. Inhale back up to center again. And then third time, taking the right ear towards the right shoulder and back up again. And then the other side, exhaling the left ear towards the left shoulder. Both shoulders stay very passive and relaxed. It's just the neck that's moving. Inhale, the head back up right again. You might notice now in comparison, one side is a little tighter than the other. Again, just letting that left shoulder relax, right shoulder relax, and the ear drops. Inhale, back up again. And third time, exhaling, taking the ear to the shoulder. And back up again. Good. And let's just go ahead and just bow the chin. So you're not sinking the chest. There's like a string again, lifting up from the sternum, and the sternum lifts towards the chin as the chin gently bows towards the sternum. Again, with control, the spine nice and tall. Inhale, back up again. And then again, just a gentle nod of the chin. We tend to be shorter in the back neck, especially if there's any drooping of the shoulders or more of like kind of like a more pronounced hump in the upper back, which is called kyphosis. And so that'll encourage the head, one last time, bowing the chin, that more of a curvature in the upper back will encourage the head to jut forward and the chin to lift so that the back of the neck gets very tight. And so doing these little neck bows is good along with that bridge, stretching the back of the neck. Okay, let's come up to standing. And let's have our chair available for balance. And you're going to have the, actually, you're going to have the seat of the chair facing. Seat of the chair faces you. And stand up tall. And I see several of you adjusting your cameras. Thank you. So that I can see more than just your feet and ankles. Okay. So then, just like we did when we were on the floor, laying on our backs, imagine the scale again, that scale where there's two trays, and imagine those underneath your feet. So you might be more weighted on one side than the other. See if you can bring the weight even so that underneath the feet, the trays feel very even. And then lift up through the kneecaps and thighs and roll the shoulders back and down and turn the palms open towards your chair. And then where's your head? So we've just done a bunch of work with the neck, the upper back. And remember when we did the bridge pose, how there was an encouragement of the shoulder blades to press in towards the ribs, and then the opening across the shoulder, collarbones. See if you can get that now without arching. So we're not arching the back like this, but you have a nice tall spine, but right in the upper back, you're just getting when I was talking about kyphosis, a little bit more of a roundness in the upper back. You're trying to just flatten that a little bit more. We naturally have an outward curve in our upper back, but it gets pronounced in our postures with gravity and all our forward activities, which affects the neck. So in this posture, in your mountain pose, evenly weighted through the feet, legs nice and strong, feeling your core work in the belly is like as you exhale, a little kind of like a girdle or something, a corset, squeezing in around your center gently, will support the upper back. Everything that's below supports above. So if you can bring your shoulder blades into the back, it'll naturally bring the head in line as much as you can. Good, everybody looks absolutely fabulous. And now I'm gonna wreck the structure here and ask you to roll your hands in towards your body, let go of your core, and just go into how you usually stand. Like if you were just standing in the grocery line or something. What does your body just naturally want to just drop into? And just take a moment, because we were just in that beautiful mountain pose, working on the shoulders. All of you look absolutely wonderful architecture there, even in the head and neck. And now explore what it feels like to be in what you're usually in all day long, right? In your activities. How does it feel? What happened? Did your head jut forward? Did your shoulders round? Did your legs collapse in? Did your belly pop out? Did your butt go backwards? What happened? Okay, now let's build it back up again. So from the feet, where's those scales? On either side, left and right, get them even. And now even bend the knees slightly and activate as you straighten the legs, activate the thigh muscles, lifting up the kneecaps. And then feel that corset action as you exhale around your middle. Then roll the shoulders back and down and turn the palms open. Feel the shoulder blades tucking in against the ribs. And then the ears come back in line with the shoulders. And where's that string? From the bottom of the pelvis all the way up through the center column of your spine, to the center top of your head. And fix your gaze. So gaze is huge. So if you're always gazing down, it can affect your mood even. Or if we talked about head posture when you were laying down, wherever you had to adjust your posture, see if right now you need to do that too. You can look in a mirror, if you're doing this on your own. Do you tend to tilt your ear towards one shoulder? Does your nose turn off to the side? Does your chin tip up? Those are the three main areas to look at. And your gaze. So your gaze is straight out your eyes, nice and soft and quiet. Just take a few breaths here in mountain pose. It seems easy, but there's effort going on here. Notice when you have a tendency to want to just relax in an area. There's an urge to just let go. See if you can notice what that is. What area wants to let go first? That's probably a weak spot. Okay, excellent. Now, you're facing your chair, And we're going to take your right arm and reach it up. And this is your range of motion. So you're reaching out from the center of your chest. Remember that flowing energy from the center of your heart, flowing out like a hose through the fingertips, and only bring it up as much as you comfortably can without the shoulder lifting. And then exhale, spread the fingers and bring the arm down. The palm flips down towards the thigh, outer thigh. And then the palm flips open. Inhale, take the arm up. If the shoulder starts to lift, then stop the lift of the arm. Exhale and take the arm down. Okay, so now on an inhale in your beautiful mountain pose, nice and tall, taking that same arm up again in your range of motion. And as the arm comes down, you're going to turn the head, the chin perfectly parallel to the floor, turns away from that arm coming down. And then as you inhale, the arm comes up and the head comes to center. And as you exhale, the arm comes down and the head turns away from the arm. And one last time. Nice and strong in your core, kneecaps, thighs still lifted as the arm reaches straight up through the center top of the head, that nice streamline. Exhale, the arm comes down and the head turns away from that arm. Good, and then center the head again, and then turn the palm open, passive on your left side, if that was the side you were on, or the other side, depending. And let's go the other way, taking your right arm. So if you did the right arm last time, it's your left arm. Exhale, take the arm down. So we're not doing the head yet. You're just exploring your range of motion in your shoulder. So there's not too many moving parts here. You're just exploring your arm movement. As soon as that right shoulder starts to lift towards your ear, that's your edge of range of motion. One last time, knowing where that arc is, spreading out through the fingers and taking the arm down. Are your shoulders still tucked in? Are you still in your nice tall mountain? Let's now add the head movement. Inhale, take the arm up. And as you exhale, the arm comes down and your head turns away from that arm. Inhale, take the arm up. The head comes to center. And as you exhale, spread through the fingers. The palm flips down. The energy from the center of the heart through the fingers as the head turns. And last time. And again, the neck only in your range of motion. Don't go into a painful range. Come back about an inch from any discomfort. Good. That was your last time. And now bring the head to center and turn your palm open on your right side. Good. And now inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees, hinge at the hip crease, and come forward to the chair. So you're on shoulders over wrists, and the heels are right underneath your buttocks. So you're not narrow with the feet more forward, and you're not pulled back. You want your shoulders right over your wrists, the heels right underneath your bottom as if you were kneeling. And you have a neutral spine. And now on an inhale, you're going to lift the tail. The knees are slightly bent. Lift your tail so you get a little bit of a back bend, and then look at the back of your chair. So you don't want to wrench the back of your neck. You're just opening the throat a little bit. Then as you exhale, tuck your tail, round your back, and now you're actually getting into the center of your back. You can give it a little opening between the shoulder blades. Bow the chin. And again, keep the knees bent. Inhale, lift your tail. So we're doing cat-cow here. Spreading the buttock bones, lifting the chest. Exhale, tucking your tail. Arching between the shoulder blades and relaxing the neck. 2 more times in cat-cow. Your inhale is the lift of the tail and the open of the chest, just a gentle lift of the chin. And your exhale is the squeezing back of the navel, tucking your tail, bowing the chin. Last time, knees stay bent the whole time. Good, and then last time, rounding the back, releasing the head. And then come back to neutral. Let's see, we are walk forward just a little bit so your shoulders are more over your wrists. Okay, then take your right foot, excuse me, your right foot forward and your left heel back so that it touches the floor. So your right heel is only going to go back as far as you can touch the heel to the floor and have your hips still facing your chair. So if this back leg hip turned open, maybe you step too far back. The back foot toes have a slight turn out towards the mat, but mostly are facing towards the front. You probably feel a little calf stretch there. Okay, so now inhale, open the chest. So the front knee's bent. Inhale, open the chest like you did in your last cat cow. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold forward and straighten the front leg. And, you know, you want to keep the shoulders open, the front shoulders open. So try not to hunch here. And then as you inhale, we're going to do that again. Press through the back heel, open the chest, bend the front knee, kind of just like our cat cow. And then as you exhale, you're going to forward bend. You're going to keep the chest open as if the sternum's reaching towards the seat of the chair, and straighten both legs as much as you can. Last time. Inhale, hands slide back underneath the shoulders, open the chest, push back into the heel. Good, watch the back neck there, Laura. Keep it, tuck your chin a little. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hip crease. And you're gonna just stay in this position for a couple breaths. So I can place my forearms on the seat of the chair, and that's comfortable for me. You might wanna stay up on your hands still. Either way, you want to keep the chest reaching across to the back seat of the chair. Do not let your chest sink in. Every inhale is that opening like we did in cat-cow. Every exhale is a little bit more of a hinge at the hips, but you can keep the spine long. Okay, and both legs are striving to be straight, but maybe they're not, and that's okay. Whatever keeps your spine straight. If you're hunching, you can bend the front knee and see if you can get that sternum to come forward a little more. Okay, and then go ahead, and if you did have your elbows on the chair, come back up onto the hands, bend the front knee, come off the back foot so they come together. Both feet are even. Bend the knees, place your hands on your hips, so that's where you're swiveling from the hip crease. Beautiful. Okay, I want you to just watch for a moment as I was looking, and I have a big screen here so I can see you guys a little better than my little computer screen. And so I can glance over and see some distortions. And distortions in repetition cause breakdown in some way. Tightness, soreness, you know, cartilage or whatever gets worn away, fluids get, you know, dried out in your joints. So we just want to be really careful because that's what causes discomfort. So let me just do the first thing that I saw. So first we did cat-cow, right? So you lift your tail, and so there was a bunch of this. I don't know if you can see, but I have long hair. So there's like a wrenching of the back neck, a lifting up too much of the chin. So you want to always have a very soft back neck there and have that feeling that the shoulder blades are pulling into the back. And then just a gentle, so if you tend to have a little bit more of a hump in your upper back, that kyphosis, you want to focus more on rounding the lower back and tucking the chin. Okay, rather than pushing up between the shoulder blades. We don't want to encourage that too much. Okay, so then when you have one foot forward and one foot back, we're doing the same thing. Inhaling, opening the chest, not overdoing the neck. And then the difference this time is that this front knee will come straighter, maybe not straight, that's fine. And you can come down as far as you comfortably can, but not like this. I saw a bunch of this. If this is you, your shoulders hunched up, you're rounded in the upper back, then you need to bend this front knee, Pull your hands back a little bit and see if you can get the spine to lengthen. Okay, that's the main thing. I don't want you to hang out like this. Okay, so let's try the other side, facing your chair. Let's go ahead and just roll the shoulders again a little bit. Do some octopus arms. Octopus arms, you know. So you're standing in mountain pose. Remember, you're evenly weighted, your kneecaps and thighs are lifted, what's below supports above, right? So you want to have all that support on as you mobilize in the upper back, chest, and arms. All right, so ending with the palms open, facing your chair. Inhale in this position, and as you exhale, bend your knees. Hinge at the hip crease and take your hands onto the seat. Let's do our cat-cow again. And imagine as you inhale and lift your tail and lift your chin a little bit, that your spine is the bottom of a circle. Then as you exhale and tuck your tail, and again, no big emphasis between the shoulder blades, bow the chin, your spine's the top of the circle. And 2 more times. Inhale, lifting the tail. A nice soft bottom of the circle curve. And as you exhale and tuck your tail and bow your chin, your spine's the top of the circle curve. And one last time, shoulders back as you inhale. Only lift your chin as much as you feel a soft, soft back neck. And then relieve that squeeze by the chin tucking towards the sternum. And then come to neutral. This time, take the opposite foot, so your left foot forward, right heel back, or whatever is the opposite side from the first that you did. Front knee is bent. Front knee is bent, and so this is like cat-cow again. As you inhale, front knee is bent, and you open the chest. So that gives mobility to the pelvis and the spine, just like in your cat-cow. And then as you exhale, straighten the front leg just as much as you can to keep the shoulders open. So it may not straighten all the way, that's fine. You want spine is first. Spine is first. First priority there. Sternum reaches towards the back of the chair as you inhale, bend the front knee, open the chest. And you might come back up onto your hands even and get that feeling that the string is pulling your sternum towards the back seat. And then exhale, and you can come down a little bit more, but do not hunch your upper back. Keep your spine open. Yay! Oh boy, good. Inhale. I'm seeing some good things there. Some nice long spines. Open the chest. Lift your tail with the knee bent. That's your inhale. And then as you exhale, hinging at the hip crease, the front leg comes in maybe into a little bit more of a length. Hips are still faced towards the front seat of your chair. And we're just going to stay here for a couple breaths. The back heel pressed down like an anchor into the floor. And then every inhale is a little micro lengthening from the center of your chest to the back seat. And every exhale is maybe a little micro rotation of the pelvis over the legs. That's how it works. So we're just getting a little more mechanical biomechanics of a forward bend, left and right. Good. And then coming out, start with bending the front knee and walking the hands back underneath the shoulders if you went forward. And then push off the back toes, step the feet together so that they're even. Neutral spine. Good. Bend the knees, take your hands on your hip crease, and lengthen up the spine as you lengthen up the legs. Beautiful. Okay, how's everybody's neck and head? We've been working it quite a bit. Maybe we need to do a little dance party. A little dance party, shake it out a little bit. Put on your favorite tune in your head and just work it out a little bit.
My lower back feels wonderful.
Oh, yes. We like that.
That was perfect.
Okay, we're not done yet. Okay, so we were doing lots of linear movement. So I encourage you to do this type of dancing around 5 minutes, I don't know, a few minutes even, in the kitchen, in your bedroom, in the laundry room. Just take a little dance break. Get your family involved, whoever you live with, your dog. Dance around and move your body. So there's someone in the chair class, and her little mantra, her motto is motion is lotion. And so if you have that as your mantra when you're dancing around like this, motion is lotion, you're lubricating all your joints, all your fascia, your connective tissue, your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons, everything is just juicing up. Okay, that's a kind of a good feeling, huh? Okay, and let's music's slowing down, fading out, and you're coming back to standing. And just take a moment. Anne already gave us her reflection of how she's feeling. And just take a moment. You can close your eyes if you want. How do you feel? How does your upper back? Do you feel any tingling anywhere? Any warmth? Maybe there's even a little discomfort. So just things to notice and not get attached. Everything's changing all the time. Excellent. Okay, good. All right, so you can put your chair aside and just, we're going to come back down onto the floor. And, you know, I mentioned things that we should do every day, like your little dance party, and working on your architecture, you know, how do you stand, paying attention to that. Here's another little tidbit that is good to do every day. And I know it's kind of hard to do. It's hard to get down on the floor. It's hard to be on the belly. It's not an easy pose. But before you get on your belly, I just want you to watch. But so take a moment to do your adjustment. I like to have a little blanket on the floor under my pelvis. You can, in fact, I'll put this down so you can see a little better. My camera. Okay, so then just watch before you come down on your belly. Because this is actually one of the reasons why we get, this is one of the poses that helps to reverse why we get that upper back hunch. Okay, we're talking about a hunchback, right? We all tend to go there for various reasons. So remember that W shape. Hope you can see it. My opposite arm is in that same position as the front arm. So first we're going to test. We're going to use our core as we do this. So I'm keeping my head up so you can hear me. You'll have your head down to start. And as you exhale, the navel moves away from the floor. So you're engaging the core. Remember, what's below supports above. That's our little motto today. And so as you inhale, you're going to exhale, you're going to engage the core. And as you inhale, we're just going to come up and imagine the shoulder blades pushing into the chest. And again, keeping a nice long back neck. There's that string, right? Up through the center top of the head. And then exhale, come down. And then we're going to come up again and maybe lighten the arms a little bit more. If you can. If you're feeling any pain, keep the hands on the floor. The third variation is to maybe lift the arms a little bit more and then come down. And then we're going to come up and you're going to keep breathing, and we're just going to do a little bit of back and forth with the arms. Okay, and that's more advanced. So if that looks like or feels like too much for you, then you will skip that variation. Okay? So oftentimes, I just want you to understand that oftentimes we get in pain and discomfort because we have a weakness. So you might say, why is she having us do these strengthening exercises in the upper back and neck when it's uncomfortable and feels tight? Well, it's probably tight because it's weak. Okay? And so there's all these little muscles that have to hold up your head and work against gravity and work with the distortions in your posture. So all that I'm showing you right now are ways to strengthen your upper back and neck so that you don't feel pain. Okay? All right, so on your bellies, looks like most of you are there, and you can have your head turned to the side if you like, or a little blanket underneath your brow. The arms are at your W shape. So again, you want the palms to be able to touch the floor. Your palms are open towards the floor, so if you have to take the arms out a little bit more for that to happen, do so. The elbows are down around the shoulder blade area, so the rib area, so the shoulders can be low, away from your ears. Okay. All right. So now just take a moment before we lift the chest to exhale and pull the navel away from the floor. That's engaging your core. And then when you inhale, you'll feel the belly push into the floor a little bit. Okay, just that's your support. What's below supports above your upper back. Okay, where we're going to go to next. All right, so if you have your head turned to the side, when you come up, you'll straighten it. So exhale and engage the core. There's that little corset action. And as you inhale, come up, leaving the arms on the floor in your W shape. Tucking the shoulder blades into the back, keeping the back neck long. Lovely. Exhale, come back down. And then let's do that one more time with the arms on the floor, but a little lighter feeling in the arms as if they were going to lift off the floor. And then exhale, slowly come down. Now, if that felt okay, and you have your core engaged, you're not feeling any discomfort in your lower back, you can even lift your arms away from the floor this time on an inhale, keeping your core engaged, maybe like an inch or something off the floor, the arms, only if it feels okay, the back neck long. Exhale down. All of you are doing an excellent job of keeping that back neck long. Okay, and let's just do that one more time, coming up with the arms just a little bit away from the floor, if that's your option, not required. Good, back neck long, exhale down. Okay, so now the last variation was coming up and just staying there and just moving the shoulders around a little bit. So inhale, coming up, if this is your option. Maybe it's not for everybody here. Stay up, keep breathing, and then make a wide V and a narrow V. So the elbows move away and the elbows move in. Just a couple times. The elbows. So the elbows move away, not the hands. The hands follow the elbows. Okay, good. And then exhale, come down. That probably feels good. Okay, now roll over onto your backs. Let's relieve some of this work on the neck. Go ahead and come back onto your backs. And the knees are bent, feet on the floor. So again, go to your shoulder blades. I'm just looking at shoulder blades here. The arms are out to the side a little bit here. Inner arms open towards the ceiling and rotating from the shoulder blade, the shoulder joint. So the shoulder blades tuck under but not pinch together. So you want a broadness still. Check your head. Is it in line? Is one ear closer to the one shoulder? Is the nose turned off to the side? You want the forehead, the nose, the chin, and the sternum, the belly button, and the pubic bone to all be in one long line. Good. Okay, press through the feet. Keep the arms loose and soft, and as you inhale, come up into your bridge. Lifting up, keeping the arms soft and open, and then exhale, gently, gently lower down. Vertebrae by vertebrae, curling down. And again, the head straight, nose points up towards the ceiling. Inhale and come up, widening across the collarbones, letting those arms be passive. Exhale, slowly, slowly lower down. Tucking the tail a little bit as you come down so the lower back broadens. And 2 more times in your bridge, inhaling. Press evenly through the feet so the big toes are on the floor as much as the outside. Again, those scales underneath your feet, feel them. And keep your feet parallel. So watch that, Nancy Ewert. Have your feet parallel, bring your toes in towards each other a little bit more. That's right, that looks better, good. And one last time in your bridge, feeling the back, little massage in the back of the neck. And exhale, slowly, slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming down on your exhale. Beautiful. And then tuck your knees in towards your chest. And again, this is called Apanasana, knee to chest pose, and the knees move away from the chest and then towards the chest on an exhale. Away from the chest on an inhale, just as far as your arms go. Towards your chest on an exhale without wrenching them in. So very gentle, breathing through the nose. Massaging your lower back. And then go ahead and when you finish your last exhale in, as you inhale, bring your feet all the way to the floor. And so we're going to go into relaxation now. Have the option of putting your legs up on the chair, putting a pillow underneath your knees, which is nice for your lower back if your lower back is tender. If you tend to tip your chin up towards the ceiling when you've done that exploration, having your legs up on a chair is nice, or a blanket roll underneath the knees. And then check your shoulders. So make sure that there's a broadness across the front, a flatness across the shoulder blades in the back, inner arms rolled open so that the rotation comes from the shoulder joint and the shoulder blades feel flat, not pinched, supported by the floor. But the plates of your shoulders just relax completely. So as you exhale, settling those big shoulder plates down onto the floor. And then letting your arms follow that relaxation. Down through the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, the hands, and the fingers. Like that flow, that gentle flow of water or light or energy or melting beeswax, whatever it is for you, starting from the center of your chest in your heart space and letting it radiate across the chest to the left and the right, down through the side body, into each arm, radiating into the shoulder blades, feeling that support underneath you, allowing the shoulders and the neck to relax completely, all around the column of the neck. So the back neck, front neck, and left and right sides of the neck. Also feeling this radiating relaxation, a warmth, a soft white light. And then relaxing into the back of the skull. So noticing if your chin is tipped up towards the ceiling and not jamming the chin in, but initiating length from the back of the skull, as if there's a gentle pull there at the base of the skull back towards the top of the head in that direction. And it will just naturally tuck the chin a little bit. And then soften across the jaw, the upper palate. The teeth are separated, the lips are closed, the tongue softly resting on the roof of the mouth, and a quietness across the face, across the cheekbones, between the brows, and across the forehead, feeling that warmth, that radiating relaxation, all the way around the skull. And then let that continue to radiate there and feel it then going down the spinal column. All the way from the back of the head down through the center of the spine and radiating out from there into the upper back, middle back, lower back, chest, belly, pelvis. Feeling that relaxation all the way around your torso. And then your pelvis supported by the floor, feeling those scales left to right again on the back pelvis, letting it settle, letting the pelvis settle evenly on the floor more deeply as you let the legs go. The hip joints, all the muscles around the hips, that radiating light, warmth, energy, letting any tension go into the thighs, the buttock area, inner and outer thighs, back thighs, into the knees, and then down through the calf muscles, the shins, the ankles, the tops of the feet, bottoms of the feet, and out through the toes. So you feel this beautiful healing, relaxing energy, whatever your visualization is of it, just pulsating through you, through all your little energy channels inside you, on all the different layers. And then even energetically into more subtle parts of you. And then surrounding you. Just breathe softly in this little cocoon of relaxation for a few more moments. And then starting to wake up a little bit, your body, bringing it back to life by wiggling fingers and toes, maybe even bending the elbows and placing the hands on your body. Then bending your knees in, curling up. And when you feel ready, you can roll over to one side. Gently open your eyes if they've been closed. And use your arms to push yourself up to a comfortable sitting position. Again, the most important thing here is the spine being tall. So find a good position for that. Shoulders open. And you may need to adjust your camera a little bit. That's okay. We can take just a moment. It's nice to see each other's faces at the end here. Okay, wonderful. All right, so just upright. You've done your practice this morning. Just take a moment to bring appreciation for that, for this practice of yoga that helps us to balance ourselves in all the various ways through our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our spirits. Bringing a sense of gratitude for this practice and for all those layers of yourself. Bringing the palms together. This is a gesture of gratitude. So bringing it in more deeply, appreciation for your body, your breath, your mind, your inner light. And then anything else you'd like to bring into your heart this morning with gratitude. And then gently opening your eyes. The light within me greets the light within you. Namaste.